Welcome back, friends, to the Traveling Cheesehead Podcast, where we talk about the places that shape us, the food that tells a story, and the roads that somehow always know where we need to go. I'm Dannelle Gay, your host, and today I want to start with something I hear all the time. Travel is too expensive. But for me, travel was never about the money. It was about the movement. It was about curiosity. And most of all, it was about road trips. The kind where you pack what you have, cook what you catch, camp where you land, and let the journey teach you along the way. So today, I want to talk about where that mindset came from and why, especially this time of year, road trips are having a moment. Let's hit the road. People love to say that travel is expensive. They say it like it's a rule, like it's reserved for people with extra money, extra time, extra everything. But that was never my experience. My parents got married after the Vietnam War was over. My dad was a rookie cop working the night shift, and my mom was a cook at a high-end restaurant where today, we'd actually call her a chef. We didn't have a lot of money, but we had movement. We tent camped. Sometimes we rented a very rustic cabin. And once in a while, if everything lined up just right, we splurged on a roadside motel. And listen, when you're a kid, roadside motel, that's not a basic thing. It's fancy. Because sometimes there is an in-ground swimming pool. A real pool. Not a lake. There was no such thing as a splash pad back then. And that shimmering blue, chlorine-smelling, feet dangling off the edge pool. Even if the room had 2 beds with those avocado green bedspreads, gold shade carpet, and furniture that had absolutely seen some things, we didn't care. We had a pool. And the campgrounds and state parks, we were busy totally in a different way. We hiked, we fished, we identified plants and flowers. We learned about different kinds of birds and helped to have Grandpa, who was, a zoologist for the University of Wisconsin. But sometimes we used a guidebook. Sometimes we got kind of tested on what Grandpa taught us. And sometimes just by stopping and asking, what is that? We learned what bloomed when, what grew where, what you could touch and what you absolutely couldn't. Who's heard leaves of 3, let them be. Those parks weren't just places to sleep. They were classrooms. And some of my strongest memories don't involve landmarks at all. They involve food. A fresh-caught bluegill from the lake, pan-fried by my mom. Crispy edges, simple seasoning, eaten outside. No menu, no plating. Just something she turned into an incredible moment. Food was how she made places feel like home, even when home was a tent. We hunted crawdads. We foraged long before it was a name or a hashtag. We learned how to look at the land and ask, what can this place give us? I remember summers using grapes to make Concord grape jam with my mom. We also learned patience, how to read maps, how to sit still with boredom until it turned into imagination. We learned that snacks matter. The gas station bathrooms are part of an adventure. The weather doesn't ruin a trip. It just changes a plan. After my parents divorced, the trips changed, but they didn't stop. Road trips became car camping in the old station wagon, where everything we needed was packed around us. Coolers, sleeping bags, and a whole lot of determination. At the time, I didn't know that was resilience. I didn't know that was resourcefulness. I just knew how to make do and how to make it good. We leaned hard into the state parks, Devil's Lake, Peninsula State Park, Governor Dodge, and let me say this clearly. A state park sticker is one heck of a bargain, In Wisconsin, that gives you 49 playgrounds that you can go into over and over and over again. And many states have the exact same offer. You get hiking, fishing, swimming, wildlife, fresh air, space to think, and usually a pretty great place to sleep for less than the cost of one night in a hotel. What I learned early, and still believe, is that travel doesn't start with airfare. It starts with intention. These days, I like to call it park and play. You pick a destination, you camp out, you use it as a home base and explore everything around it. Trails, towns, food, and the history. That approach didn't just shape how I travel, it shaped how I raised our kid with my husband. Travel can be fun and educational. You've heard me say that. You can learn without realizing that you're learning. You can play your way right into curiosity. Now, let's talk about something that we really need to be honest about here. Influencers. Social media has made travel look glamorous, but not always real. It's like reality television. It's highly scripted. A lot of what you see online is heavily edited photos. Carefully staged. Shots at sunrise when there are no crowds. You don't see the waiting lines of 50 other women in that big, long, flowing dress. People are like eliminated from the backdrop of the, photos where they're carefully erased out of the rivers or in the canyons. And here's the part people don't always realize. Many of those trips are fully comped, or people are paid to be there. That doesn't make them bad people. I've had press trips where I've gone on and been paid or comped to be there. But that doesn't mean that what you're seeing is always a real, everyday travel experience that you can have when you go there yourself. So here's my advice. Do your homework. Find a real travel professional to follow. Someone who talks honestly about cost, crowds, logistics, and trade-offs. Someone who shows you the good and the messy, because the real travel isn't perfect, and that's the point. So personally, my suggestion, especially if you love road trips in the Midwest, go to the MidwestTravelNetwork.com site, search by state, and you will see an amazing collection of real travel professionals who will give you ideas on things to do. People that you can follow or reach out, okay? Of course, you want to subscribe and follow me and share these because I hope I fit on there too. I know I'm on their list. So you might notice what I'm not talking about today. I'm not talking about flights. I'm not talking about point hacking, loyalty cards, or chasing airfare sales. That's a conversation for another day. This is the year of the road trip. Because here's the thing, and this is very Midwest of me. A flight with a layover might take 12 hours when all is said and done. Security, delays, sitting in an airport wondering if your connection's actually happening. I can drive to Louisiana in 14 hours, and that drive comes with stops. Stories, food, unexpected places you've never seen from the 30,000 feet view out that window. A 10-hour road trip? That's just a Tuesday. We're built for this. Airlines are deregulated, delays happen, flights get canceled. The road doesn't cancel. You turn the key and you go. And if you love cruises, that's a whole nother animal. We'll talk about that in the future too. But today it's all about the road. Looking back now, I cherish those early travel memories deeply. Not because they were perfect, but because they were intentional. We weren't chasing luxury. We were chasing experiences. Those trips taught me how to stretch a dollar without shrinking the wonder, how to trade polish for presence, how to value stories over square footage. So when someone tells me that travel is too expensive, I get it, but I gently push back. Because I've lived the other version. The one where a camp stove feeds a family, where a state park becomes a classroom, where a station wagon becomes a doorway to the world. Those roads raised me, and honestly, they're still teaching me. So my final thoughts on all of this is that when I look back on my life and all the places I've been, it's the road trips that stand out the most. Not the hotels, not the amenities, the roads. Road trips give you permission to slow down, to stop when something catches your eye, to turn a campground into home base and a simple meal into a lifelong memory. So if you've just been waiting for the right time or the right budget or the right circumstances to travel, this is your friendly little cheesehead nudge. Pack the car. Buy the state park sticker. Pick a place to park and play. Now, if this episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd like, share, and follow the podcast wherever you listen. It helps more people find these stories and keeps the community growing. And if you know someone who thinks travel is out of reach, send this episode their way. Sometimes all it takes is a road trip mindset shift. Thanks for riding along with me today. Until next time, keep the tank full, the snacks handy, and your curiosity wide open.